Hello, happy new year. Hello, everybody and friends. So, it's been on my mind and in my heart to talk about dentistry in an open atmosphere, I guess. And I have some stuff lined up, but tonight we have a very, very special guest, Dr. Rubecca Shahid. She'll be joining us here momentarily. So if you guys have comments about or questions or comments, just drop them below. You can message me right now and I'll be able to tune in and respond. How's everyone's New Year going so far? Yeah, I know for sure next time I'll do this live on YouTube. I just got to figure out, this is my first time doing this. I have to figure out how people can join me on YouTube. I know they can join me on Facebook, maybe even Instagram, but it's just going to get better with time. So bear with me as, I continue to learn and grow. Hey, you guys like my wings? He's cute. Can you hear me okay? Am I speaking loud enough? Hello. Testing. Let's see, I sent her an invite. Got a few minutes. I'm just going to just chill and wait. Stay hydrated. Let's go vibe to some Anita Baker. Anymore. Don't you know this is where you belong? Right here on this live, this is where you belong. I love you, baby. Let's see if she got my invite. Let's see. Guest requests, my viewers. Nobody's viewing yet, but that's okay. This will be, I'm going to try to figure out how to save it so I can post it to my YouTube channel. This is all new to me, so bear with you, girl. Let's see, share. I sent the invite. Okay, so hopefully she gets it. Tune in, you guys. Invite. Hello. It'll always be this way. It's hot. It's getting hot here. Nerves are starting to kick in. At least you know I'm alive. Yeah, I got a few questions for her. Again, if you have some questions, make sure you comment, message me so we can get your questions answered. Sweeter love, sweeter love. Oh, no. I can loosen this thing up, it's tight. Hello, person who's watching. Thanks you for tuning in. Stay tuned. We'll have a very special guest joining us here shortly. Just trying to iron out some more details. It's my first time trying to bring someone on live with me. So we'll see how we'll get it done. We'll get it figured out. How's everyone's New Year going so far? How many of you are sticking with your resolutions, if you've made any thus far? I really haven't made any I'm going to resolute to do this or that. I'm just doing what I need to do, Just do what you got to do. Let's see if we can get her on board. Very special guest. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. It's going to be really fun and interesting. Let's see. Tune in. Why is he on my friend list? Lord Jesus. Boy. Moving on. Moving forward. Hi, Imelda. Happy New Year to you and your family. I miss your mom. Stay tuned, okay? I'm trying to bring our special guest on to the live. It's my first time doing this, so just be patient, please. I'm just gonna vibe to the music. Can you hear me okay? Am I loud enough? Hi.
Hi.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Thank you so much for agreeing to come on live with me.
Of course.
You're the best. So, introduce yourself and let's talk a little bit about your practice.
Yeah, so my name is Dr. Rebecca Shahed, and my the name of my practice is Smiles on 35th. It's in Northeast Seattle, Westwood area, and it's a general dentistry practice.
Okay. Cool. Smiles on 35th. Okay, that's exciting. I was spying on your Facebook and I seen some of the reels and videos you guys create up there. It looks so much fun.
Yeah, so we do fun. It's a fun office. We make reels. We have fun throughout the day. I think it's very important to have a very cohesive team and, have a great working environment so that way everybody loves coming into the place, right? We spend more time at work than work at home most of the days. So having a great environment actually really helps.
Absolutely. So you are looking to hire, is that correct? You're looking for some assistants out there?
Correct. Yes, we are. Our office is hiring dental assistants right now. So, yeah, if you are seeing this and want to join a fun working environment, come on.
Are you willing to train someone fresh out of school?
I've trained the last two assistants I had, both of them I had trained fresh out of school. We recently hired a Serral tech, and he is not from dentistry, so we are training him fresh, with dental terminologies and everything. So yes,
Oh,
I do train.
that's cool. So I think that's one cool thing about dental assisting or just dentistry that you can not have like official training and still come and get certified and trained into the field.
Correct. Yes. You just need to have your dental assistant license. And then I think you just need to get all your motivation and all your willpower to learn. If you don't know something, it's a little bit challenging in the beginning, but do not give hope. It takes some time and, you get proficient in whatever you put your mind into.
Amen to that. Well, happy New Year to you, by the way. Um, thanks for joining, everybody. So I do have a few questions. What inspired you to pursue a career in dentistry?
So both my parents are medical doctors, and I grew up in a hospital setting. I grew up with them, and I always wanted to be something different. My mom's a gynecologist, and she knew that how hard it is for females, to have that kind of work life balance was not there for her. So me and my brother were back to back for her, so it was very hard on her. So she was like really motivating me to take some career where it would be like in a medical field or dental field where I would have a work life balance. So I think I really listened to her. And then, when I got the opportunity, we chose dental field.
Yeah, finding that work life balance is not easy, right? But you're right, dentistry does provide you if you work for the right person. Most of the time, it's 4 days a week, right? Most
It's 4 days a week. Most of the times it's 8 to 9 hours.
yeah,
Of course, commuting time is there, but I would say if you have a 3-day work weekend, I think it makes up for most of this. Like, my commute is an hour going, an hour coming back. But at the end of the day, when I go and I just forget about everything, I just love working on my patients. I love everything. So I think because of that reason, I would say, that 4 days work-life balance, I just cannot beat that
yeah.
in any other profession. Yeah.
Give me a 3 day weekend day. Yeah, I think most people commute an hour to and from work. So, but when you have somewhere that you go and you enjoy it, it makes a big difference. Like I'm looking forward to going to work today. What are we going to do silly today, or how are we going to
Yeah.
help this today? Dentistry is really cool. How long have you been in dentistry, doctor?
So I went to dental school back in India when I was 17 years. So I was like say like 2003 I was in dental field. I graduated from there and then I moved to US. I was a dental assistant actually for 2.5 years before I went to dental school. So I graduated in 2016 in Chicago and then I was working there before I moved to Seattle. So yeah, if you think about all total, I think it's been a little while.
Yeah, it's been a while. You're an OG. That's what we call it around here. Oh, I was just recently in Chicago, and oh, the food was so good. Oh my gosh. Do you miss it?
Oh man, yes, totally. I think it's very hard to beat Chicago food. I was in New York recently for one of my interviews, and trust me, New York food is like was great. And I really miss Chicago, New York style of food. So of course, after I moved to Seattle, I do miss that part of food which I left in Chicago.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. Okay, let me ask you another question. The most rewarding part about your job?
I think, making somebody smile. People come from all aspects of life, and then some people come and they have issues going on and they don't have answers to it. Giving them that, giving them hope, and then trying to find the true answer, and then giving them the smile, the bite they want is basically the most rewarding part. Like I had a patient, I did orthodontics. It's a silly thing to say this, but he came and he told me, I can bite a Jimmy Jones sandwich. And for somebody else, it's like nothing,
Yeah.
right? But for somebody who just cannot eat a sandwich for half of his life, he can eat a Jimmy Jones sandwich. Oh my gosh, I was, looking at veneers, looking at Smile Makeover is great. But hearing this small thing from him made me like, made my day lighten completely.
Because we're changing lives and adding smiles and giving people confidence. I really, really enjoy dentistry. Let me ask you another question. So, how would you handle a patient who is, let's say, anxious about the dentist?
So, when patients are anxious, most of the times they're anxious because they don't know or they have fear of unknown. So I think talking to them, calming them out, and then, hearing them what is going on with them is very, very important. Everybody has an anxiety for something or the other. So, hearing them out, what has happened in the past with them, or what is it that we can do to make their life better, just having that control over them. Dentistry is a hard field as well because when they go back, you are all the way back, somebody's working in your mouth, you have no control. You're basically, you actually have no idea what's happening with me, you're already numb. It's basically really, really hard. So I think hearing it out, explaining them that we actually understand that, I think goes a really, really long way.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you because you feel a little vulnerable because you're all in your personal space, and listening is a really big part of dentistry. We do a lot of listening to what people have been through and what they want, and so that's a really important part of dentistry. I love listening to people because we meet all kind of people in dentistry.
We meet through all forms of life. And, being in general dentistry, I see like a newborn to a 90-year-old, that's what it is. So I think that's where our jobs are so different, and every single person is different, every single tooth is different, every single case is different. So I feel that hearing, listening, trying to find the right answers for them is the only way to go. And everybody feels anxious, like looking at a needle, who would not? I would feel that same way, right? Yeah. So it's just the technique. I have numbed my patients and they're like, so trying to hide the needle, trying to not let them know, when I'm going to shoot them out, and then just calming them out is very, very important. We have gone to the phase where I would give Valium or Halcyon or nitrous to the patients, to the point that we actually don't have to give anything to the patient. The patients are fine. So I think that is a journey which we have traveled, and I have traveled with my patients as well.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Um, Another question. So, what do you think AI is going to take over dentistry? AI is everywhere.
AI is very, very helpful. I think, you have to understand that, I have Pearl AI in my office, which is like, the X-ray software. It's an excellent patient communication tool. I can change the colors. I can teach my patients. I can help them understand what's going on. If there's a cavity, I can explain them everything. But the thing is that I always take it with a grain of salt. What my eyes can read and understand, I do not believe AI is up till there right now, you
Right.
know. And I will always see it, and sometimes I'll be like, no, I do not agree with AI. And I think that's where your expertise and diagnosis comes into place. So I do not believe that AI will always come. No robots, no AI, nobody can come and like replace that personal touch, which we have. It's almost like you cannot replace a front desk from a kiosk saying, how are you doing? Just touch a button and you are checked in. I do not believe that would happen in dentistry. That's a personal communication which we have right now.
Okay, so I was talking to one of these dentists at the University of Washington, and he was saying he told me that a robot prepped a tooth for a crown. Are you familiar with that? Have you heard
I
about
have
that?
heard it. I think the patient needs to be put under
Okay.
because the patient moves so much. Not everybody is going to stay stable. You have an issue with the tongue, you have an issue with small spaces, with everything.
Mhm.
And, like when you say about a crown, everybody, like, whenever I'm prepping a tooth, I see things and then in my mind I will memorize like, okay, fine, this is how I have to go, and I will sometimes change my plan depending on what I find inside the tooth. I'm not really sure if a robot would be able to do it. Like I really don't do traditional crown preps. I do overlays. So if an overlay is a cap, a crown is a helmet. So I try to save as much as tooth structure as possible. I do biomedic dentistry, so I do very different kind of dentistry than traditional dentistry. So all those factors come into place. I do not believe a robot will be trained enough to do that.
Okay. So this is another question I have, and we don't talk about it often, but can you explain to people how their oral health affects their overall health?
Yes, oral health, people don't realize. I feel that periodontal disease, cavities, which are small, they are basically silent killers. What happens is the bacteria travels through your bloodstream and cause you heart disease, diabetes, Alzheimer's is just literally periodontal disease. People don't realize,
You
but
said,
these are silent killers. Yeah, Alzheimer's.
oh,
Alzheimer's is basically related to periodontal disease. So, you have the blood, which is, it's the same blood which goes to the heart and the brain, which goes in the mouth. There is no different blood coming in. So, that bacteria filled blood is traveling to the whole body. And it's basically, that's what is happening with the body, that, our bacteria is traveling everywhere. I explain people that it's not great for them, right? Why do you want that kind of bacterial blood to travel the whole body? Why do you want your heart to work extra? And if suppose, somebody has diabetes, you already know that it's so hard to control their blood sugar at times. And a lot of times they end up with periodontal disease. It might be the other way as well. They're not taking care of their teeth as well. And diabetes plays an important role where they start losing their teeth. So it's very, very important to take care of your, teeth. And then, I would say, imagine you love food, right? And one fine day I take away that from you and ask you to pulverize your food. You would really miss chewing.
right,
So it's the same thing. You have something, treasure it. I consider my body as a temple. I always like to take care of it. It's the same way I like to take care, not just my mouth, but my whole body. It's the same way you have to take care of everything. Nothing lasts forever.
absolutely. And I like to tell people that oral health care is self care. So if you haven't been to the dentist in a while, there's a lot of practices out here that will be patient with you and walk you through the procedures and make you aware if there's any dental disease. It's always good to check and get X-rays because sometimes you don't know that you have a cavity until it's gotten so big to where now you can feel it and now
Right.
pain, and then one thing leads to another, and yeah, so get a checkup, people. If you haven't had one in a while, get check up. Go to Dr. Shahid on 30 Smalls on 35th in the Ravenna area.
Yes, it's Bedford, Ravenna area.
Yes. Are you,
Yeah, I like today we took an x-ray for a patient where we were monitoring a cavity which was very small. Actually, it's increased in size significantly, and we were like pretty shocked. If we didn't take x-rays today, she would have called us in a couple months citing pain and it would need a root canal. But today we can actually save the tooth from a root canal. And I am a big believer in saving teeth rather than like pulling them out. So I feel that it's very, very important to be more proactive. X-rays are very, very important. I don't, I understand people think about radiation, but when you go to travel, you never think about radiation. When you're having a banana, you never think about radiation. If you think your doctor told you that, oh, you might have a cancer, you never think about radiation. Why would you just think about radiation in the mouth, which is very, very minimal?
right, right. Yeah, there's way now that the X-rays are like digital, so much less radiation.
Yeah, and we
We used to
have a
wear
gun.
badges back in the days. Oh my
Yeah. Yeah, and we have a gun and the radiation is so
God.
minimal, and it's not that, so I just want to let you know that, it's important to do things so that, we have the right tools to
Right.
diagnose.
So you have a Nomad machine. So when she says gun, you guys, that means like this. It's a portable X-ray machine, so we can boom, 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 so that it spins. There's less time with the uncomfortable sensor in your mouth. We can do it a lot quicker, where it would take maybe half an hour. We can do it in less than 15 minutes. So the
Yeah.
Nomad is really heavy, but it's a really cool machine to
Yeah.
use.
Yeah.
I prefer it. But even though like some offices they still have the old school one, you gotta run out and run in. But I'm getting my steps in, so yeah, I look at the positive and when it's not all positive. But thank you so much, Doctor. Okay, just a couple more questions. I
Sure.
don't want to hold you too long. So what role do you think diversity has in dentistry, and how can we encourage more representation?
I think diversity is very important. It's almost like, if a group of people, feel that they are not represented in the community, I think the patients do not understand. Like, if I was, depends on the ethnicity, depends on the, racial profile. I would say a lot of patients are comfortable with that. I've had a lot of patients who have asked, and I have asked them, how did you find me? They said that they were looking for an Asian doctor, something like that. If you feel that, patients are more comfortable with you, I think it's very, very important that we have that kind of doctors and dentists and everybody, and even assistants and front, so that we can have more representation. And it's very important. That's the only way we grow in life. If you do not have representation in a certain place, I feel you're missing that part in your life, I would say, where you can help the community. Like, I can educate my community, you can educate your community, we can come together, have forces together, so that way we can educate more and more people at the end of the day. If we were not in this space, I think we would not be able to do this.
Right.
So,
Yep.
and then there are so many kids who are on the streets and they're not able to like do anything good with their life. I think it's our job to actually go and motivate them and explain them that if we can do it, you can do it as well. I always call myself, a woman, a person of color. I'm a first immigrant, and I always tell people, if I can do it, so can you. Believe in yourself, and I'm always there to support everybody. Like my assistant, one of them is. From a different country, and we helped her out as well, and the same thing happened with other one. I do hire a lot of people with color and from different origins, because I think that is the only way we can give them a chance to move forward in life and make their life better.
Absolutely. Representation is very important. We trust people who can resonate with us, who look like us. So if you guys are interested or you want to change in career, dentistry is a really good field. We need more people of color to be
Yeah.
in the field. And if you know a young person that needs some mentoring or some training, just send them our way. One more question, and then I'll let you enjoy the rest of your evening, Doctor. What is one thing you wish everyone knew about their teeth?
I would say that the teeth is basically the doorstep of your health. You know, what do? Is you come and you start eating everything. You put things in your mouth. So I just want to let them know that you put everything in your mouth, and there are diseases like periodontal disease and like small cavities which are not painful at all, but these guys are silent killers. So what you're doing is if you don't take care of them, they will basically start ruining your mouth. So it's extremely, extremely important that if something is a silent killer, diabetes is a silent killer, the same way periodontal disease is a silent killer. I really want people to know that do not just work on when you have pain. Come in, get your regular checkup done, get your regular cleanings done, so that way you can last your teeth for a lifetime. It's extremely important, and people don't realize, in younger age, we can actually push the pedal, do everything like eat kale, eat whatever you want and be healthy. But as we grow older, even if you eat kale, you can gain weight. It's the same way. As we grow older, everything goes old. So we want to make sure that we are taking care of ourselves, and especially our teeth.
So when you say periodontal disease, you mean like gum
Gum
disease?
disease. Yes, I mean gum disease. And gum disease is very prevalent in so many parts of the world. We are very blessed that, I think the neighborhood I am in, I don't find as much gum disease, but whoever has it, that's where I come in and, educate them and why it is important.
What
Because
does gum
people,
disease look like, doctor? How would someone know if they are at risk for gum disease? What happens?
well, they will have bleeding. They will have bleeding gums, bleeding on brushing, bleeding on flossing. All of these are, signs of gum disease. You will see recession, you will see bone loss, you can see spaces between your teeth where food gets stuck, and it's very hard. Anyway, especially when they eat salad, the first thing they have to do is take it out, floss it, and they're trying to find that there are spaces forming in between teeth. Those are all signs of gum disease. And especially, you don't bleed everywhere else, then why would you bleed in the mouth? Bleeding is the first sign of gum disease and inflammation.
So if they have bleeding and inflammation in their mouth, is there any home remedies that you would recommend until they can get in to see a professional?
Yeah, I would say just brush and floss thoroughly before you see a special, like, a professional. And then, get your cleanings on time, take care of yourself. Sometimes medications can do it. I've had a patient who actually changed medications and started having gum disease. I spoke to her, she spoke to her doctor, and then, when she got off, she actually went better. So, there are so many different factors. If she would have not come to me, if he would have not had that conversation, she would have had bleeding gums throughout, and she was actually not, she was taking care of herself, and then she deteriorated. So it's not that, oh, you don't brush and floss, that's why you have. Sometimes medications do as well. So I think finding the right reason, finding the right cause and diagnosis, and then treating is extremely important.
Yay, oh my gosh. This has been really informative. Thank you so much for your time. And I really appreciate you coming and supporting my mission, which is just to bring awareness to our community and to the world on how important, oral health is to your overall health. We're trying to save lives and teeth at the same time.
Yes. Amen.
Thank you so much, Dr. Well, have a good
You
evening.
too. Thank
You're
you,
welcome.
Annie. You have a great
Thank,
day. Thank you, everybody, for
thank
watching.
you so much.